The conflict between humans and the shape-shifting aliens known as Skrulls, which was taking its initial course under the shadows of bureaucracy, comes out in its messiest form in the Secret Invasion season finale as Fury and Sonya Falsworth rush to foil Gravik's plan to initiate the Third World War. In the previous episode, under Gravik's order, Skrull operative Rava, who was impersonating Colonel Rhodes, tried to convince an injured US President Ritson that the attack on his motorcade was a result of an alliance between the Russians and Skrulls and that he should order a strike on Russia even with the possibility of it instigating a world war. Jaya met with Fury to inform him that Gravik was looking to get Harvest, which is the contained form of the DNA of every major character who took part in the Battle of Earth during Avengers Endgame. Later, Gravik communicates with Fury to inform him that he is willing to bargain for the lives of Skrulls at his refuge and even avert the possibility of a world war in exchange for the Harvest. Assisted by Sonya Falsworth in taking the Harvest, Fury is shown all set to take down Gravik as he heads for New Skrullos. Secret Invasion Episode 6 begins with Fury calling his Skrull wife, Priscilla, one last time to settle the disagreements between them that stemmed from their previous argument. After all, the mission he is going to embark on, a direct confrontation with Gravik, might prove his last one, and he needs to make amends with his beloved before that. Vara urges Fury not to put his life at risk, knowing full well how futile it is. In reply, Fury only asks her to take care of herself, and Vara hangs up. Fury uses a decoy car to distract the guards posted outside New Skrullos and eliminates them swiftly. Going through the Skrull colony, Fury finds it to be empty and comes across the room where Gravik and his comrades killed the operatives who rebelled against him. New Skrullos were established in the defunct nuclear power plant thanks to the Skrulls having physiological immunity against radioactivity, which seems to have taken hold of Fury as his health starts worsening the longer he stays inside the colony. Fury makes his way further inside and finally arrives at the chamber where the Super Skrull experiment was taking place using Dr. Rosa Dalton's machine, where he finds Gravik waiting for him. An infuriated Gravik berates Fury for how he utilized him along with the other Skrulls to further the cause of humanity while effectively ignoring his side of the bargain, which was to find a new home planet for the displaced Skrull refugees. Gravik reminds him of the time when, as his youngest covert Skrull operative, Gravik was instructed by Fury to kill someone, whose face Gravik wears to this day as a reminder of how he destroyed someone's family just to impress Fury, who was an idol to him and a number of other Skrull operatives. Gravik carried the guilt and pain of taking lives, considering he did those actions under Fury's order for the ultimate betterment of Skrulls, and it was Fury's betrayal that led Gravik down such a destructive path that has burned both humans and Skrulls relentlessly since. More than the espionage-themed narrative of the series, Secret Invasion has so far turned out to be a thesis on the MCU's political landscape's single most important character, Nick Fury, with the reckoning of all his successes and failures culminating in another world-threatening event. The personal stake makes it imperative that it be he who takes the final stand against Gravik, something he knows as well. On the other hand, Rhodey impersonating Rava tries her best to gaslight POTUS by saying that the Skrull-Russian alliance is a horrifying threat to national security and that taking immediate, responsive action is necessary. Brushing aside the opinions of an admiral about the possibility of the attack being staged, Skrull Rhodes shows the president's satellite footage of Russian tanks gathering across the borders of Finland and Ukraine. Rhodes asks Ritson to consider such tactics as primary acts of aggression undertaken by Russia and almost pleads with him to initiate an airstrike on them. Rhodes' desperation has reached the point that he has even prepared the president's address to people beforehand. However, before Rhodes can delineate more of these red flags, Sonya Falsworth calls him, stating that Fury, finally losing his mental capacity, is on his way to attack the president and that they need to take the POTUS to the upper levels of the clinic. As Rhodes and the rest of the security rush to take Ritson to the topmost level, one by one, every single operative gets tranquilized by the unseen assailants, all except Rhodes. At New Skrullos, Fury acknowledges his past mistakes of abandoning his duties and responsibilities to Skrull and that he feels responsible for Gravik, the youngest Skrull whom he had exploited all those years ago. Fury urges Gravik to leave the planet along with the remaining Skrull population in exchange for the harvest, which he has brought with him. As Fury hands Gravik the vial containing the harvest, Gravik tests it to confirm its purity, and it is shown that DNA samples of almost the entire gallery of superpowered characters are accumulated in it. Fury's condition keeps worsening, and Gravik decides to use the harvest on himself while Fury is still inside the machine. Gravik emerges as the strongest version of Super Skrull, with the combined might of Carol Danvers, Hulk, Cull Obsidian, Proxima Midnight, Mantis, Korg, and many other powerhouses, and starts thrashing Fury to vent his frustration. However, He is shocked out of his wits when Fury matches his strength and sends him flying across the room, and soon the switcheroo is revealed as, on the other side of the globe, Sonya and the real Nick Fury corner Skrulls in front of President Ritson. It was Jaya who was impersonating Fury in front of Gravik all along, and thanks to Gravik's overconfidence and arrogance, now she shares the exact same powers Gravik does. A prolonged battle between the two begins as Jaya is charged to exact revenge from her former comrade, who is responsible for the deaths of both her parents. At London, Fury and Sonya try to convince a confused President Ritson about Skrulls' deception and urge him to call off the airstrike. An air of mistrust pervades momentarily, which clears off pretty easily as Rava, Skrulls, disarms Sonya to shoot down Fury, only to end up getting headshot herself, and in her final moment, her body changes back to her Skrull form. Seeing the gravity of the Skrull invasion firsthand, Ritson wastes no time calling off the strike and preparing for a public address. At New Skrullos, Jaya uses Captain Marvel's energy blast to kill Gravik once and for all and rescues all the bureaucracy, media personnel, and other persons of importance, among whom Agent Ross and the real Colonel James Rhodes are present. Ritson makes a precise yet fierce public address about the Skrull invasion, which indicates a strong anti-alien policy the USA will undertake from this point on, along with hunting down all the Skrulls. As an immediate reactionary step, a hit squad is formed that starts butchering the Skrull suspects, and aside from some successful takedowns, some humans get killed during the process as well, and the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, the real one, is shown to be a victim of such deaths. The condition of the Skrulls from this point on seems to mimic how the X-Men were discriminated against in comics. Sonya Falsworth visits Jaya and asks for her assistance in exchange for help against the Skrull struggle against Ritson's manhunt, and unlike the Talos-Fury relationship, they agree to do away with emotional complexities from the get-go, as service in exchange for service will be the only intricacy they are willing to be concerned with. Fury visits Priscilla for a final farewell, as he is going to return to the SABR base to simultaneously strengthen Earth's aerospace defenses while searching for a way to resolve the Skrull situation. After calling President Ritson, Fury expresses his disappointment with the approach he took about the Skrull situation, which turned an already bad situation worse. In reply, Ritson scoffs at him, stating Fury should take the Skrulls off the planet if he is indeed that concerned about them. In the end, Fury kind of does so, as Priscilla arrives to see off her husband, and Fury requests that she come with him as well. Fury states that the Kree have agreed on a peace treaty with the Skrulls, and Vara is needed as a mediator during the discussion. Now confident in her own skin, Vara finally ditches her human identity of Priscilla Davis, appears in her green reptilian Skrull form, and Fury kisses her. A quest that began with testing their marriage ended with mending it in a new dynamic. However, the biggest takeaway from the finale is Jaya emerging as possibly the physically strongest MCU character till now. With the abilities of several dozens of super beings, she is the capable leader to protect the now most vulnerable Skrulls, and her position in the larger MCU narrative is going to be of seminal importance now that Avengers, Kang Dynasty and Avengers, Secret Wars will bring multiversal threats to the Prime Earth. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and I hope you enjoyed the final episode of Secret Invasion.